you're on an iPhone, a lot of times you're scrolling. You just have all your apps together. But of course, you can put them in folders. So on the Android side, we just have the home pages and we have the widgets. Now, widgets were introduced to iPhone, so like this right here, where it has the calendar, that's a widget. Here where it says this is the weather, that's a widget. So like on my Android, I have weather, I have the Bible app, the verse of the day, I have my Google search bar, and then two, just at the bottom, you see at the bottom of both screens, how you see like those are like those commonly used apps. So like you see here, at the bottom, I have my phone on my, so at the bottom, I have phone on both, I have text messages, I have that email icon, so for work we use Office, so it's the Outlook one. Then of course, I have, Chrome. I use Chrome on both of the devices. Now, I know the default for iPhone is Safari, but if you've encountered certain things will not open up well in Safari, download Chrome. It's crazy. Even, I'm gonna tell you this, working with technology on like desktops and laptops, what I've also found that even when it was Internet Explorer or now Edge, I still find that it works better in Chrome.
Is Chrome considered a widget?
No, Chrome is a browser. So Google Chrome is a browser. And I always tell my iPhone people, like on Android, it comes default, but for, like when I've helped people troubleshoot some things, I was like, yeah, you want to download Chrome. And that's why you don't see Safari. It's on here, I think I did it for myself, but I don't use it. My default is Chrome. So
That's why some of them apps keep coming up, it'll come up and then it'll say widget.
yes, that you could say that, do I want this to show up as a widget? That's just like I got my calendar. I got my full month calendar that I don't have to go to the calendar app. I can see my month and like I can scroll through, right? Even on here, I can still click here to go to my calendar. They do have the search bar, and you see Microsoft. These are like some websites I've gone to, so that's like Microsoft. Can't remember what this one is. This is a download I know, and this is Canvas. And you see this is the other calendar. So the difference is this is the default calendar for Apple. The one up here is the one for Outlook. I don't use for work, I use the Outlook calendar. So that's why this one is on my home screen.
Which one is the Outlook calendar? I wanna see what the icon.
That is the regular calendar that I'm pointing at.
Uh-huh.
So when I scroll back to my main home page, that's gonna be my Outlook one. So you do have an option to say which one do you want to have.
So how do I know which one I have?
Let me see which one you got. That's your default calendar.
Uh-huh.
So that was the one that was on the other screen. So
That's the one that comes with the.
That's the one that comes with it. So like, when you set up your, Apple account, that's like, okay, I'm saving everything to that calendar. That's basically what that is. So like, if I go back to here, I'll see my, events. But of course, you could pick like several different ways you want to view it. So like, let me see. It's gonna come on. I kinda wish it would, but the way that we had to do it is doing it through YouTube. But on this page, let's see. When I click on it, of course I can come through here. So that's my widget. So this is the year. So you just decide how you wanna view it. And I can come here.
Wait,
and
that's
these
the
are all my
view part.
calendars.
I was wondering about the Outlook calendar.
So when you do have Outlook, you use Outlook?
Yeah.
Okay,
I have
so,
Hotmail, I have.
so you're using it through your, so let me ask you this. You know how you come with that default mail app?
Mhm.
That's this app. Probably do that. Cause y'all got an app library page. So do you use the mail app? I think that's the one you use. That's not Outlook. That's the default mail app. Now with that mail app, you can put multiple accounts in
I do
there.
have that, yeah,
Or you could do like if you have a Gmail account, so
I have that.
the default for Android is Gmail, but they do have a default mail app, just like this one is for, here. So right here, I can go in and add them, so if you'll see your list that say
So
which
under
one,
calendars, I would add Outlook to it, is that what you're saying?
you would add your, you could just add your Outlook, account. So that would be like your Hotmail, Outlook.
That's interesting, because I have all that.
Yeah, that's you.
I have that.
So when you go on your mail, those are all your accounts.
Yeah.
So all you're doing, you see how right there it tells you what, data is being pulled? So you got your
Oh,
cloud
and it says
mail.
calendar. then-
So you see how it does have calendar? So that means when you go to that account, when you get to your calendar, you can see your accounts. This is what I was showing you here. Down here at the bottom, that's how it's color coded. So you can see
That's
there's
what
my
I
out.
do.
So yours is technically color, yes, it's color coded, but you see that's your purple, that's your Hotmail. This one, the purple one is your iCloud calendar. Then you see this one right here, that is yellow. So you want to color code it so you don't know which one is
do.
which. Yes.
do.
So especially those colors that are gonna stand out to you, those are the ones that you want. So different prayers, what we were talking about is in the calendar app. So we have where you can add the widgets, but of course you still wanna say which accounts are you using. So like on mine, I have, I'm not gonna lie, I have several. So I have my Gmail, I have my Bozeman Marketing, those are the two that I have. But because this is a Samsung phone, kind of like because you have an Apple phone, that's where that default comes in. So you can have a default Samsung or a default like Pixel calendar, but then you can still put your Gmail. So like my Gmail account is how I save my data, and I also save with my Samsung. So when I switch phones, so like, you know, when you get an upgrade, it'll ask you, who are you signing in as? Because it's gonna ask you to pull that data. So that's why you're saving that data to back up your phone, your pictures. You're doing that so like if you get another device, or, you know, you can also go to, tie yourself to, iMac, or MacBook,
You can also add, because mine is set up well.
now I know you
I
got your
dropped my
tablet.
phone- I dropped my phone in
Mhm.
water the other day. So everything that I've got is already backed up. So when I get my new phone,
All you gotta do is just move it
slide
over. But see,
And then-
you could pull your stuff on your,
on my tablet.
tablet as well too. So that's the equivalent of y'all having an iPad, and I can look at my stuff on my phone, also on my iPad.
And one
Same
other thing, I got to figure out, I used to take my phone and like, James, you know, we getting young and we forget. My doctor's appointments, set it up where, say if it's 3 o'clock Monday,
Mhm.
Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock, it'll
You get a
beep
reminder.
and show me, remind me, and then 7 o'clock that next morning, it'll remind me.
So that's you basically setting up your calendar. When you put that invite in, you say how many notifications do you need?
Mhm.
So when I go to, I'm gonna add one, and I'm gonna add an event. I'm trying to get to this screen. And that'll be the same thing over here, especially on my work calendar, I'll do that. I'll set 50 million of them, depending on what it is, I'm like, I'm not going to.
Cause see, that's on where doctor's appointments for the grandkids and stuff like that.
So when you're saying like you had everything in red, So let's say,
So I know that that is a specific calendar. That's gonna be my Gmail, for me, red is my Gmail calendar.
okay,
So like, on my work phone, I'm gonna tell you, I got another color. My calendar, and like my team will be shared calendars. So like, I know mine is green. So I know that anytime I see the green, cause we even have a physical calendar in our suite. So we know that, okay, Terica is green, so she's gonna be at these schools this day. So even when I'm looking on here, I know these are mine. Now, you can actually still color code and say, maybe this is something important, I might need to change the
well,
color.
I guess what I'm gonna ask is like, if he has appointments, can I make all his appointments green, make all my appointments
can.
red?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll know whose appointment it
Correct.
is just
And
based
then
off
also
color.
too, like, y'all can have a shared family calendar.
We do, we
So
do.
because of that, you can still go in those individual ones, so like, right here, you see where it says title, and you see that green little dot next to it? I know it's kind of hard to see.
At the top.
Yes, so like right here. See here? That's
I'm
your
not go ahead
title,
blinking
but
at it.
it's telling you what
Wait,
calendar.
Okay.
so I'm in this,
So go to your, Outlook. Go to, you're in your regular calendar.
yeah.
So when I'm here, and I'm adding, okay? I'm adding my event, so you see right here,
Oh,
so you say what calendar you wanna put it on. So if it's your shared calendar, I would definitely put it on your shared calendar so y'all can both see it.
we just sent invites to each other.
But if y'all got a
So,
shared calendar, you don't
I
have to do
believe,
that.
I'm sure we've got a shared calendar. Where would I see if it's shared?
So, let's see, we're looking at.
You see, I got a ton of
No,
stuff.
you're fine. So we're gonna come here. So red is work for you.
Cause I've never done anything like that, so I don't even know the colors.
I see family.
Yeah,
So we still need to see if you have that calendar. Your family. So let's try this. We're gonna, one of y'all put in a calendar, like put in something.
I'm just gonna put text.
The test, We're gonna see if they're linked. If they're linked, that means it's gonna show both on.
And
both
then
your
invite
calendar.
him like I normally do?
No, we're not do, that's
Don't
the whole
even-
thing. So like the
Oh.
twins and I, we have a shared, we all have Android, so we have like a shared calendar. Now, normally for me, it's faster, I just go ahead and just invite them, but if you have a shared one, like we have, a family group. Like if I do, like a grocery list, which they never look at. And so I was like, put your stuff on the group, and they add the stuff in there, so we collaborate on it, but I should just say, this is my family group. And it goes to them automatically.
Most of the time for us, and she'll tell you
We
too,
did invite.
I always do the invite, because when I was still working,
Mm-hmm.
you know, on my, calendar at work.
You do your work
because-
calendar.
Because I had to send it out to Colonel so-and-so, General
Uh-huh.
so-and-so, General so-and-so secretary.
Mhm.
So when I put those invites in there, because the first thing I say is, did you see the invite that I sent you?
Correct.
Because the first thing they said is, you never told me. I'm like, sir.
But I sent the invite,
I'm looking at
yes.
the day I sent it to you, and I see when you
Accepted it,
and that read receipt is your best friend.
correct, and so that's what I was going to tell you.
Yeah, so it came
Jamie.
up. It
Okay,
did
you
come up
do
on
the same
yours.
thing my daughter went
It
through.
comes up on yours, because this is what I'm going to tell you. When you are in like your work, yes, I would do that. If it's a work event, because I'm gonna tell you what I do.
I'm the one today.
So y'all don't have it shared, so it's technically not shared. So I'm gonna, if it's work, so I'm gonna tell you what I do for work. So let's say I have an appointment, but I needed to have it to show up on my work calendar. I do send it to myself. So that's what you're saying, like.
What I normally do is, I got appointments and stuff like that, that's basically us. When we had appointments for Javon,
Mm-hmm.
he had a basketball game, he had practice, or whatever case
So
may
you
be.
wanna put it
I
on?
put all that on the calendar,
Yes,
and I send it to her, and back then, yeah, I was sending him to him as well.
correct. So this is what,
But you're saying with the family one, we don't even have to send it, they'll be able to see it. I definitely need to do that.
Yeah.
so that actually is a lot more helpful, cause like, on mine, like, even with the, even with which one am I looking at? So like, I mean, I know on mine, like, I can change the default color, that's what you were saying. But because, so like it says default color, but let's say I needed another color, kind of like, I needed to stand out a little bit more, so I'm bringing attention to myself. Then if you, of course, what I do also like, you can view everybody's schedule. So when I add, and I'm adding somebody, so I'm looking at my schedule, and I can kind of add, and that's when it'll tell you. So I can see which calendar that I wanna put it on, right? Whatever's connected to my Gmail. So like if, like I know I have the church calendar shared with me as well. So if I need to put something on that calendar, I can switch in between. So even my, my business calendar, I can still put it on there and see how the color change. But if you have the family calendar, then you can just put it on there as a family to say, and that's just creating a calendar, like you're creating a calendar that you're sharing with everybody in the family.
That's what I need to do, so do I go in my settings and just set that up?
That's one way that you can do it. Let's see, I'm trying to think what would be the easiest way. Let me switch my brain for a second. Thank you, Vic. So in your calendar, what's that one?
I don't learn nothing else, that would be helpful. Cause we'll forget to send, be like, oh, I didn't send you that invite.
Yeah.
And at least if it's shared, then I know it's on there and he'll see it either way.
It's like these ones right here.
Yeah, yeah.
I would just send that first.
So what you're gonna do is you got to add a calendar. So go to, at the top, calendar is at the bottom. Or go back to your calendar. Mhm.
Oh,
Calendar. Add calendar. And so you can add a calendar too, and open the calendar.
just add that.
So you're saying which account, and
Oh.
you're saying who you're sharing it with. Actually, looks like you,
That's why I was thinking that I did have it, but he didn't get the test that I just put in.
so this one is, so you're adding it, so you're saying you got everybody's calendar on there. You can see when it's changes, what color it is, and now, and you can change it, you can change the name, and maybe that's standing out to say Web Family Calendar.
Events affecting availability?
It can, but you can still put that on there.
Let's see, I can
So
get.
you're editing a calendar.
Okay.
She's adding that calendar, and so you can see how you can add, so you can add your calendar on there as well too. And so, you just see,
Okay, that'll
you
be
see where it says
something.
add?
Oh, but that's the iCloud.
Oh, you
because
can
that's the
change it.
calendar.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but see, when you click, you want it for that one,
That's fine, cause that's the one I use, so.
right there. So, if I create something now, I'm gonna hit add, and we're gonna say which calendar,
Right there.
right there.
Oh, well.
So now you can test,
I got
and
you.
everybody should get it now.
This one?
Did it come up for you?
Yes.
Did you get a test one for
Let's go
today?
back. She said she just sent you something. What did you send? What did
Today,
you send
for
Tess?
today, right?
Oh, there it is. He just joined it. There it is.
Oh, he joined,
He
oh,
got-
so they gotta
They
join
gotta
it.
join it.
I gotta tell Buddy.
So you need to tell
Okay.
them that they need to, cause I have to fuss it between them, like, listen, I sent you an invite, I need you to check your email, cause depending on how
It'll
you
go
got
to
your
their
setting,
email?
it'll go to their email, but sometimes it will let them know, you might get an alert to say, you know, I'll see something on my calendar to say where it's like tentative or something, but a lot of times I always say, I'm getting them in the habit of just business one-on-one, school one-on-one, always check your email, check your
Yes.
calendars, you never know what may pop up. Cause even when files are being sent, a lot of times it go straight to your email to say so-and-so shared something with you, so you wanna do that first before you go into the say, well, where did you send it? You'll get alert.
Okay.
So just, make everybody aware.
Just a bit.
Yeah, just
okay.
make everybody aware that, hey, I sent you a calendar invite, so they'll know to accept it
And it doesn't matter who the carrier is, right? Okay.
Because it's
Because
your-
Little James got his
T-Mobile.
own.
No, it's fine,
Okay.
because it's through your account, you've already added his email on there. So as long as he still has that email, then it'll still go to that email to say, hey, you've been invited to this
Yeah,
calendar.
because he did T-Mobile, because T-Mobile works better overseas than it does in the States.
Gotcha. And you have to make those decisions, cause it's just like, I remember when we had, what was it, Cellular One, and then it Verizon bought it, so it worked everywhere, but then Verizon's really gotten out of hand.
Yeah.
Where it's just ridiculous with the price, and so I had AT&T before, and back in December, I went back to AT&T. It works, and depending on the building, it don't care what you got, it ain't gonna work. Cause you know how some of the buildings are just,
Well, I know we was out in the country last summer for a family reunion, and she was probably about 40 miles away from me, or
Mhm.
less, and I couldn't even call.
Okay, I'm sorry, I have another question. So it's getting sent to Javon's iPad, and I
what,
wanna
James?
change it,
Who was your service with?
but
Verizon.
when I want it to go. to
Because we got Verizon,
but
because normally
now
Verizon picks up
it's,
everywhere.
so you
When I
want.
But
do
now-
that,
You know, we was out in the country in Florida.
Yeah.
So
They
you
called
want
us
to go back,
Citrus, where my dad's people live at.
Mm-hmm.
go back to
I
the
ain't
family
pick up
house.
nothing
So
out
go
there,
back.
and one of my little
Well,
cousins.
since you were too far away from the tower, then I guess.
Verizon,
But
but
see-
no,
So
but
right
he
here,
was,
you want to, so you want to actually change
Maybe
it and
T-Mobile.
say add person?
Yeah,
Oh, so
that's fine.
now change it
to
to,
right there.
yeah.
That's hard, that's kinda hard to
So
understand
then,
though,
now
because
Gotcha.
Verizon bought out,
And
Alltel.
the same with his phone number too.
I love the service.
Well, you need to change his number. I
And
would
you know
change
me,
it.
I'm traveling all over, everywhere. I could
His
be
contact.
in Greenwood
Oh, yeah, no, I'm saying if I want
and,
it sent to
call my
his
wife, but I
number
went up
and
to
his
Clark
email.
Hill.
You can.
I was,
So I would just add him again.
up there
Okay.
on the backside of Lincoln.
This is it.
Everything is up underground, no
Send a
telephone
message,
poles
and
or
just like
nothing.
tell them that, hey.
I had a flip phone.
If you do this, you're gonna call.
It went satellite.
You see how we put
My
that?
partner said they didn't know where you got
So you
reception.
wanna send a
I
message.
said, well, bet it go satellite. Flipped it over, they showed the satellite. I
But
called my
will
wife,
he get a text
Call my
message if I add
supervisor.
something on the calendar that he'll see as well?
asked him how it
It'll
sounded.
still go
Man,
to
it's
that
nice and
email.
clear.
So he just needs to make
Then
sure.
Verizon
you just
bought 'em
added
out.
the Hotmail.
Man, they had a
So
heck of
now
a
you
service.
added a new one, you can delete the old.
You sitting,
Right,
say,
so
you
can
and your
I add his
Cadillac,
phone number as well, or it has
sitting
to-
at a light,
Gotcha.
they're acting in front of you. Verizon, one of their texts back there, your antenna on your car is broke. He will walk up there, take the antenna out,
But
get a
eventually,
new antenna, walk up
they
there,
still have to save it to
show
the
his
cloud,
credentials,
that's
and
tax
say,
free.
and ask you, can he change your antenna? Change your antenna, write your number down, tell you have a nice day. But then, I should've went on, they went to Wayne, but I should've went on with them.
we used to go, when we first got here, we had, was it AT&T? I think it was AT&T, we used to travel a lot back and forth to Florida. And we go 25 and then hit 121 going through Meta,
Mhm.
on that back road going up in there. We lose all cell phone.
That's what
Until-
Cell One,
until
that
we carried
area,
out.
State, Dillon, Statesboro, Savannah, like you said, going to Florida, that was like Cellular One. And then Verizon, well, I'm gonna say there's even Alltel as well too. So it was Cell One, Alltel, then if I remember right, Alltel bought Cell One, and then Verizon bought them. So that's why their network is kind of big in the South Georgia area. But AT&T, like I said, it has gotten better, and that is why I went to them as opposed to, but you are right, I did hear a lot of people like if they go overseas, T-Mobile works.
T-Mobile is the
Better.
best, because, you know, we had the family plan, you know, we had 5 phones, because, you know, James had, he got 2 different lines.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got her, myself, and Javon,
Uh-huh.
the other, and stuff like that, so you be like, man, let's figure this thing out, but shoot, I tell you. What, we was 121 and 16, and not 16, but back on 25 and 121. I lost everything.
It was the six.
I was like, what is going on?
Uh-huh.
And as soon as we 16, we start picking
Well,
up.
pick it back up, yeah.
I
Cause
would-
they gonna keep it on the interstate.
Yeah,
You gonna make sure you have a signal, but when you kind of veer off, then that's when it gets a little crazy, so.
yeah, so that's what changed us from AT&T to Verizon then. And this was when we first got it in 2003, 2004.
I have one
We'll see
question.
back to
We're
Verizon
making this
with-
personal.
No, and that's
teacher
what I want
class.
y'all to do too, and that's kind of how we did the other
Look at
classes.
Gmail, you're
Mhm.
showing the Hotmail, why is that?
Because you set it up that way.
Sure I did.
Yes, it wouldn't have, it shouldn't be your Gmail, but that's what it is. So like, I know like I have a Hotmail and Gmail, it's the same, username. Like it's Ramos at Gmail, Ramos at Hotmail, 'cause I had my Hotmail before I had my Gmail.
Right.
So, but that's technically, that is your Hotmail account, which that's not correct.
So would I
You're gonna have to go
add,
back and change your settings.
what is that gonna change if I do that though?
So if you go back and change, cause this is gonna be under mail. So this is, remember, this is your account stuff. Yeah. This,
I know I got
some,
invites.
you got,
I'll go back to that.
alright.
We're gonna delete that one.
You're gonna have to go back and change your, alright, so this one says your Gmail. That is your Gmail. So that other one should have been labeled as, I think it was this one.
That's my primary one, honestly.
That's your Hotmail. So it's just how it's named. So you need to specifically, for some reason it's saying Gmail, but it's not Gmail, because I don't see anywhere where you put Gmail, even though you got Hotmail right there.
I just don't want it to change something I'm not familiar with.
But you have it where it's linked to your Hotmail account, but for some reason you have it labeled somewhere as Gmail, where it's technically it's not. So I would.
Hey, man.
So we're not changing anything. So. That's, cause that's your iCloud, that is your Gmail right there, right? The blondie one, that one?
No, my Gmail is the one that,
So let me ask you this, oh, that one right there, is that one?
yeah.
So when you set up your phone, cause like you can, so like I have a MacBook. So you can make an iCloud over an iCloud account with an existing Gmail account, Hotmail account, whatever. So I do it with my Hotmail account. So then my question to you is when you set up your phone, which account,
Like my Hotmail.
and that's what I was thinking. And that's probably, that's the one that we're looking at, right? And that's probably, and so that means it's probably showing up in the two places where you have an iCloud, and then you have the Hotmail, which they really should be separate, but they are. Okay.
I just know my Hotmail
that's why I was asking, how did you originally set it up? So,
Just off that one.
so that's why you're seeing it in your mail, these different, that's why you got it canceled, you got, that says Robin
I got
Shield,
four. Mhm.
but I see two, did you see that? Well,
There's
that's
only
the
two
two
ones
messages.
open.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that part.
Let's see it here. It says- Cause this is the Hotmail.
And the last one's a Hotmail.
So those are the two different ones.
Uh-huh.
It's how you have it named. You named it that way.
I did.
That's how you
remember
named
that.
it. So maybe you accidentally named it Gmail, but it just should have been your Hotmail.
Okay.
That's all that is. Yeah.
In my calendar.
Yes, or in your account, I think just in your account in general, that's just how you named
Okay.
it Gmail, but that's why it's showing up that way. Okay, so, all right, so we talked about calendars, talked about sharing calendars. Also with your widgets, oh, thank you. Also with your, with my iPhone users, with your widgets, like I said, this is like a, I guess an info screen for me. But you kind of like set it up how you want to. But, you know how up here, if you know, you go all the way to the right, you got your app library, but I like on iPhone now is that you can search in two different places. I can go to my app library on that last screen, but you also have it. Cause I'm gonna be honest, that's what I normally do. Or you can come here.
Oh, I
Here at
just
the bottom.
pulled down.
You can pull down, but you should have the search icon on the bottom of your screen right there.
Oh.
That's what I use.
Oh.
Damn it,
So you have it on every screen now, and I'm glad that they do that because
Yes.
I overlook it, cause when they
Okay.
did before they did the update, I always went to that last page that had everything on there, or like you said,
I
it-
pulled down all the
yes.
time.
So now I like that because if you're not careful, you're gonna overlook it, cause it looks like it's telling you the page number is doing two things. It's telling you
Okay.
which page you're on, but once you get to that page, it'll come back up with search.
Got it.
So it's
God, I
like
love
those little tricks.
technology.
It's like those little small tricks.
I love
to-
it. Anything to make us more.
And it's a lot of times with like gestures and everything. Like I know specifically, and I watch my friend do this because she'll screenshot everything. It's so funny. So on that Android, I'm always used to, let me make sure because it used to be the buttons used to be on the side together, but it's still on Android. So like when you take a screenshot, you got your up button and your power button on the iPhone. There's a gesture on the Android, if you take your hand and you do it right, it swipes and it gives you a screenshot. Now, I have not.
On an
seen-
Android.
On an Android.
Oh.
See, I have not seen the gestures yet, but a lot of times it's again, when you go to your settings, how do you set up your settings? So like, it was one setting, so like, for example, a lot of people ask me, okay, why is your screen dark? Why do you set up the dark mode? I set up the dark mode, because especially during the pandemic, spend a lot of time on my computer or on my phone, because I'm making emails, I'm creating stuff. Having that white background was very harsh on my eyes. So I just went in and I changed my display, that's your display and brightness. You just, now you got the option to say light or dark. The default is gonna be light. And then what happens is all of your apps are going to take on what your system, so like right now, I'm in my system setting. So if I'm in my system setting, the app will take on whichever you want to do. Sometimes it'll ask you, but most of the time, even like my Outlook for work is dark, my screen is dark, I just do
So
all
you
that.
recommend,
If you spend a lot of time on your devices, if you do a lot of computer work, yes, I would definitely, change it to, dark. Now, another thing too, we're very, I like to sleep. I like to enjoy my sleep if I can. So another thing, and cause I don't remember if I got a chance to talk about it the last week, we talked about how you can have that do not disturb mode. That's very important with sleeping because they even did the studies on how when you spend screen time prior to going to bed, it's trying to get, because you're trying to get your brain to slow down, almost, not quite shut down, but slow down, so you can sleep. Well, what happens is, a lot of times that's your mode. So like on me, on my Android, I have my do not disturb, but of course, like, I always have to put my favorite. So if you have not already, make sure you set up your favorite contacts in your phone. That's important because if you have like that do not disturb mode, at least they can get through.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yes.
Okay. Mine is Monday through Friday.
Yes.
8:30, do not disturb.
Yeah, so mine goes off at 10. Now my work phone, it gets personal time at 6.
If you just put it on silent, doesn't that do the same thing?
No,
No, it's still gonna ring.
yeah. That means you're gonna get everything.
It'll buzz.
It'll buzz, but you're gonna get everything. If
Anybody.
you do not disturb, you can say, even with apps, so like, I have my favorites that they can get through. And of course, like, let's say, you know, if it's a repeated caller, let's say they had called from somebody else's phone, that's another one that will come up. Also, I have my ring notifications that it goes through as well too. But then I also get it on my watch, because however I set up, and you notice if you have a smartwatch, however you have your phone settings, that's what's set up on your watch as well too. So I don't have to, now there's sometimes like I'm in a session or something, I will put do not disturb and then it will link to my phone, so it'll do that as well too. So that's always helpful. So like you see, I got my night shift. Now my night shift right here is basically saying it's scheduled and it changes the color temperature. So again, on my Android, it basically says it's gonna turn into grayscale. So you see like right here, it says less warm, more warm. A lot of times with your color temperature, you don't want it as warm. So then I can adjust it.
Where are you at on the iPhone?
I am in settings.
Yeah,
Settings, display and brightness.
yeah.
That's where the dark mode is. And
Uh-huh.
then you're gonna go down to night shift.
Uh-huh.
So night shift, it has my times from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. You change your time.
I don't have nothing, cause I.
Night shift, because you have, it's off, so turn it on. So you say schedule, so that means it will automatically do it for you.
Oh, and then I pick what
You
time.
pick what time,
Okay.
and then you say manually enable until tomorrow. Well, no, this is scheduled, so it's gonna automatically turn on and turn
Every
off.
day.
And you can change it, if you
Yeah.
want it, and you see how sunset to sunrise for custom, and you just do it that way.
Okay.
He said put it on less warm.
Less warm, and what you also notice, you know how, y'all heard like with the blue light filter, like you could get that blue light filter, so that's what helps with that, where it takes away, those, that light, the blue lights that are coming up, but then the night shift does not, include your do not disturb, that's a different setting. Android, it'll do both. So on my Apple people, if you're trying to then go back and do your do not disturb, because even your focus time, that's normally where that, let me tell you what focus time, I love that. Focus time is, I have a schedule for work, I have a schedule for the weekend, like it changes what disruptions do I want, or what notifications I want. So if it's work, maybe I don't want, now this is my work phone, I don't have like Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, but Facebook, I've turned mine off on my personal phone. But you can basically say, these are the notifications that I want during that work time. You can either have it scheduled, or you just click on it. So like, for example, church. I have a church setting, like a church focus time. So I don't get any notifications during church. So it's automatically set every Sunday from like 11 to 1:15, it's done. When it's off, it cuts off automatically. and I get my notifications, but I'll get notifications, but I'm not being disturbed on church service. So think about that. But like right here for the focus time, the normally is the do not disturb, okay? If I do the do not disturb, and it comes up where it's, try to get a chance to come up so y'all can see it.
Where, are you still in display and brightness?
I'm back to focus. Go out to focus.
Focus, gotcha.
So you see, do not disturb.
Uh-huh.
So right here it says allow notifications. You can say people. Right now, none are allowed. And it's gonna work on you get to me at 7:00 in the morning if I check it early. What apps? And then you could customize your screen saying, well, what do you want your screen to look like? To say, and that kind of deters you to mess with your phone. Sometimes we just have that habit of you pick it up, and that kind of deters you to say, well, I got to go through all this just to get to, yeah, let me just, whatever. So here's my schedule. You see, I'm zooming in. So we talk about apps, whatever additional options, and then it has the schedule. So it set a schedule. So this is when, like, I do have a weekday schedule and I have a weekend schedule. So mine looks different on my personal one.
So this is where you would add the church one and put the time frame to.
Well, actually, you can do it like that, or if you come back out, you see, go back one, and you see where it says do not disturb personal sleep work.
Yep.
There's a add button at the top. That's where you can add additional one.
Oh, okay.
So you have like custom driving, fitness, gaming, mindfulness, reading. So I would do the church one as a custom one, and then you can go in and edit it.
Oh, okay.
So for you, Deacon Friends,
Mhm.
it's the same way. On your side, you're going to, and y'all know, because sometimes I forget, I go in the settings and be like, okay, now what am I looking for? Because sometimes they change it. They will change it on you. I will search for it in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, on both Android and Apple, your search bar is gonna be at the bottom. Android, when you go into settings, it's at the bottom as well too. It used to be at the top, but it's at the bottom. So on here for Android, it's called modes and routines. So I have sleep, theater, there's some that come set. Driving, exercise, relax, work, gaming, that's my weekend sleep, and then I added my church.
That was still under focus, right?
You're still on the
I
focus.
got you, okay.
So those are the different ones that I have, but there's, the weekend sleep I have, there's my church one, and you see it says turn on the do not disturb. And that's what that one thing you wanna set on there, but again, when I do my do not disturb, I already have like a set one. I can change my appearance as well, and it says sound mode and volume. Well, if something does have to come up, like if somebody has a call, it's gonna be a vibrate and not an audible, where I go, as a volume to the ringer. So that helps with that as well too.
Okay, what you were saying about drive mode.
Mm-hmm.
When I was driving, I used my headset. If I would take my headset off, it would automatically switch to do not disturb.
Correct.
Driving.
Yes.
When I put it back on,
It will automatically go back to your headset. And a lot of our cars will do that as well, where it's following what you're doing to say, do I have that, cause I remember when I got my, Altima, and I like connected my, your Bluetooth, and then you know how like you take your calls, but if I did my text messages, it would send you a text message to say, sorry, I'm driving. So in that case, you could still, a lot of cars will still do it now, or you just go in and do it. And a lot of those have like Life 360 and all of that, and it'll alert you. You can, if you get like a subscription one, you can add all those things in, especially like around modes as well too.
If If I make all the changes on my phone here, is it gonna apply to my iPad, or do I have to?
Cause as long as you got the same account,
Yes.
then it'll apply.
Okay.
So like I said, like right now, I have do not disturb on my phone, on my watch. I see the little minus sign saying that my do not disturb on is on. So that means it should go to your iPad and your watch, because it also, like, I have a Samsung tablet, it does the same thing. So when I'm in church and I'm taking my tablet, I'm using those, it still gives me that, oh, it's sync, because you do have to say syncing across all devices.
Mhm.
If it syncs across all devices, then yeah. But this is a great mode to do. A lot of people don't really realize, cause like my weekend sleep, mine cuts off at 7 a.m. on Fridays, so Friday nights, Saturday morning, and then Saturday night, Sunday morning, yeah. And then like I said, and this was my other actions, where it has sound mode, grayscale is on, and then the eye comfort shield, that's the adaptive. So like, your brightness can be adapted, depending on your environment. To say if you're like in a darker room, it'll adjust. I like the adaptive mode better because then it kinda helps with saving the battery as well. Now, one thing that I always notice, a lot of times I will always have power save on my, Android, not as much as my, my work phone, but I have to charge my work phone. Is it something with a lot of the Apple devices, they have a lot of stuff going on in the background, and because they have a lot of stuff, it's gonna bring your battery down. Now, you can turn on the power save mode, that will help with prolonging your battery life, as well as just like on the other one.
Okay, would you say it's got eye comfort, shade,
Mhm.
adapter up there?
Mhm.
Mine will say filter.
So filter is basically kind of like that filter. So like if I come down here, it says what other actions do I want to have in this mode? So it says my sound, I got my sound, my ringtone, so it's not all the way up. So I've adjusted it. My notifications is at 47% volume. My system, those like those system noises or whatever that happens, that's at 40%. My grayscale is on, my eye comfort shield is on. I can turn on my dark mode most of the time. Because it's grayscale, the whole screen goes grayscale. Power saving mode, open an app or do an app action, media volume, play music, read notifications aloud, voice wake up setting and say, okay, we want it to wake you up with a voice as it's coming out of that particular mode. And you can add additional actions as well. These are like some suggested ones, but these are some others. So like, how do I want my, Galaxy Pro buds to work? What connected devices do I wanna have? How do I want my lock screen or my always on display? How do I want my battery? What do I wanna do with my keyboard? Accessibility. Bixby, that's basically like Siri. Now it's Gemini. It's now, some devices still have Bixby, but more the universal will be Gemini.
My headset works through Bixby. My headset, small
So
headset.
with Bixby,
Bixby.
yeah. I'll be honest, I really don't use either one.
Hmm?
I really don't use either one. Like my Jaden, he likes Bixby, and I don't know if he's moved to Gemini. I know my work phone, of course, being an iPhone, I had Siri, but I turned her off. And I think I turned her off on my, cause I said, she do too much. She be telling on me. I was
So
like,
mine's a pop-up Gemini.
I haven't turned it on, so like I can turn it on my watch. I think I had Bixby on there, but when it went to Gemini, I haven't turned it on.
You see, Tasha and Nikki have, they set up where they can, be sitting there in the house and say, Siri, call Dad.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll automatically call, and I don't know how it's set up.
And it's just how you have it, so like, okay, so on on my Android, what I did is, I hold it's my power button. When I hold my power button, and Gemini comes up, Gemini open up my Gmail.
thumbs up,
Mhm.
and then it's gonna open up my Gmail. And then like you could say, add a, I do reminders, I like to do reminders, if I don't think about it, I just go ahead and set my reminder. And what I also like, again, it will go between my devices, so it will come up to say it's synced across. I have it on one, it'll do it on the other, which I really like. Now, with your Siri, like I said, she's turned off me. So it says talk to Siri, that's what they did. They can talk to her and say, hey Siri, and it recognizes your voice. She'll recognize your voice. Now what I also like with Siri and even with like Gemini and all that, you can change it to a voice that you like. So like the default for Siri, I think it's American 4, but you can do Australian. Indian, South African. So you do male and female. So like even when I do directions, I always use Waze, because you know Waze will play by train, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even with Waze, you know, you can change the voice on Waze as well too. So it has like those stock ones, but now they have it where, what was I doing? Like shows and movies, like you could get actors from different movies and stuff on there. So like Dan Aykroyd from Ghostbusters, he was on there. And like they have like season
You had
one.
Santa.
Yeah, Santa.
I was like, I even did my voice one time. I was like, how do I get this off of here?
So you can do that.
I figured it out, but it was annoying.
It was annoying. And so that's just like with Gemini. What I also like is, I know we were talking about AI the last time. So even with AI, so technically Siri is AI. But does Apple have like a built-in AI chatbot or whatever? No. Now, on my work phone, because we're Microsoft, we have Copilot. But we also have like Magic School, and we've been doing some experimenting with my department with Claude. So on my Android, I have Copilot. So what I like about Copilot is I can be driving. I can be driving, and I can have a conversation with Copilot. Hey, Copilot. Hey, Copilot.
Hey, how's it going? It's always good to
How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. It's always nice to have a little friendly check-in. How about you? How's your day going so far?
So far, so good. What's the weather going to be for today?
So, it looks like you're in for a pretty warm day in Harlem, GRA. This morning, temps are starting off in the upper 70s to low 80s, and it's partly cloudy. By the afternoon, it'll get up to about 86 or 87 degrees, and it's going to feel quite hot, maybe even close to 100 degrees when you factor in the humidity. So, definitely stay hydrated and take it easy if you're outside. There's also a chance of a thunderstorm popping in the afternoon.
So if I go to Columbia, South Carolina, am I going to encounter some of the rain?
Sure thing. If you're headed over to Columbia, South Carolina, you're looking at a pretty hot and humid day. The temperature will be around 89 degrees with a real feel closer to 99 degrees, so definitely warm. There is a possibility of a heavy thunderstorm later in the day, and the chance of rain is about 55%, so you might want to keep an umbrella handy just in case. Stay cool and safe on your trip.
So what I like is that you're seeing it, you're hearing it, but you're seeing it, but it also gives you where they're pulling the information from.
So what's the
Absolutely.
equivalent?
It's really helpful to know where.
So like right here, you can see the little micro person, but then you can say, what's your voice? So it's so funny because when I was doing that, I was at work and I was showing my coworkers, they said, oh my God, set mine up. So when I set it up, so my friend Keisha, she's around, we both have twins, graduated this year. And she said she was in the bed and she was talking to Copilot. She said her husband came and was like, who are you talking to? Cause I set it up just like mine. And so.
Like, who is that man?
Like, who's that man I'm talking to? So,
I want to hear your big ideas. Tiny dilemma.
Looking for answers or a new perspective? Let's explore the world together.
As
a companion, I learn about you. I can't wait to learn more about you.
I can write stories,
What do you think? Could we make a good brainstorming duo?
I can get philosophical, creative.
I like my king, that's my person. But what I also like is, I'm going out. If I go out, I can still go back and retrieve that conversation. So I can go back. So like, there was, especially like, so I do have, a business where I do like websites, social media, all of that for people. And so when I was trying to come up with like I had the name, I had all that. So I was on the way home one day, and I was just asking questions. I was like, okay, if I do this, this is what I should do. Okay, I'm not gonna remember that conversation, but guess what? I can go back into my history, and I can go back and like print that stuff out. I can organize the data, like the information, and say and I even say, okay, so what are my priority steps? What do I need to do first? Gave you the checklist of what I needed to do.
Is that like ChatGPT? Okay.
Yes. So a lot of people use chat,
Yeah.
but Copilot is one, Claude is one of the newer ones. So you can do a little bit of, you can do it with like Gemini, you could do it with, Siri will do some of that, she will. But some people like having an additional, chat bot.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying, I'm a little technical, if I go in there and I pull up something, say I'm repairing that speaker and it gives me the whole
The steps.
outline, I
Yeah.
can go back
So
later
that's
on.
basically like you going to YouTube, like YouTube is Google is my friend, so I would Google it and go to YouTube, and just take a YouTube and you like video. But you could ask it directly to say, hey, I am trying to repair this speaker. What you can even do, you can take a picture of it,
Mhm.
cause it's looking at, okay, it's scanning it. It's scanning and say, okay, this is a this model number, and it might ask you some questions about it just to get clarification that it's pulling the right information. Hey, how can I assist you? I am trying to rewire this to It'll give you the steps. So basically what I really like, cause think about like Siri, Google and all that, it's pulling all this information for you instead of you having to search for it one by piece and put it together. It does it for you. Because another thing that I like is what is called image search. I love image search. So on that Android, like I have on my home screen, there is a, my little widget. And on my search bar widget, I can do it there, I can ask it a question from there, but I have my, image search. So that's right up here, that little bar at the top. Now, another way I can also image search on my Android, on your home button. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I've been trying to figure this out for a minute with the iPhone, because y'all have image search, but again, it's a Google product, so you have to make sure you have Google, like the Google piece on there. So, this is what we go to. I had it on here, what do I have? Here's my Google. Now, it comes up with the image search, because that's the search bar up there for Google, but that's not the Google, not the actual one that's on the screen. So if I go over, there's my Google, and it comes up, you have that image search option, you see where the microphone is? And right next to it, that's the image search.
Hold on.
But you got it right there, right there. You in the right spot.
My Google Chrome?
You just right in.
Right there, well,
Oh, that's your image search.
oh, gotcha.
So like, and I like to do this especially when I am, let's say I see something and you're trying to figure out, okay, where can I find things like that. Or like I'm scrolling on Instagram or Facebook, and I say, oh, that is such a cute outfit. Let me see where I can find this. And you can do that image search. So now it comes up with Google Lens. This is where you can take a picture of something.
So if I see a chair at a hotel I like, I take a picture of that chair?
No, you do it right there. So you see how I click on the camera, it says, you see how you have like in that frame? I can click on something.
Like the microphone, so you wanna? Okay.
So like here, I gotta take this back, but I realized it was open when I got home. I was like, oh, I'm taking this back because I don't know if somebody did something to it. So here, let's say, where can I find this? So I'm gonna click and do search. And it's gonna tell me about it.
You know it.
So it's gonna tell me about it, it's gonna tell me where I can get it.
This is under the camera.
Under the camera, go to Google. This is like you taking a picture.
Hold on, yeah, I got
Go
to
to
try this.
Google, then under the camera.
So under Google, you should see, oh, you fine. Where's your G at, where your big G at?
Okay.
Search, remember you can search at the bottom. So search for your Google. So you got Google Home, but you don't have Google. So you don't have it, which is fine. So you can just download the Google, you just want like the Google search. That's what you want. It still may come up, just keep typing in Google. You want Google, do you have Chrome? Okay, so let's search for Chrome then. No, you're fine. We're gonna search for Chrome. Nope, because it says it. So you can download Chrome, and that's what we was talking about earlier. Your default browser is Safari, and sometimes you run into issues with Safari. Google seems to be the best browser across the board, Android, or, because even on my MacBook, I download Google, because a lot of times when I'm looking at something, Safari just acts up. So just download Google, it saves a whole lot of time.
Okay.
Well, see, I can go there and Google, like, auto parts, if I need something, go there, Google it. And then one other thing, what you were saying, Nick had packages coming to the house, and the box is ripped. So I'll take a picture and text it to her, but the way you're saying, all I gotta do is take a picture and just go in there and pull up her screen and send it to her that way.
Alright. So I'm gonna show you this. So right now I'm on Instagram. I was on Instagram.
You don't want us to see your feet, do you?
No, my feet is fine. So this is underwater. This is a reel. So this is underwater, a fish, or whatever. So if I hit my home button, I can come here with Google, and that's what I'm trying to figure out with you guys, my Apple. You see how the screen, and it's gonna come, it's gonna look like,
I pulled up.
it's colored, it's gonna look a little colored, let me see. So there's the fish, I wanna know what kind of fish it is. So if I hold my home
It
button,
looks like a shark.
it's not a shark, it looks like a catfish. So if I circle,
Bluegill catfish.
so I'm circling, I'm saying this is what I want to focus on, almost like the Google Lens. So I'm doing my circle.
Circling the fish?
Watch. That was a little bit like.
Yeah, it's on time delay.
Look, I got mine pulled up, you got to help me with this.
So when I circle it, it's asking about this image. This image appears to a dark colored catfish. I figured it was a catfish. post, I'm searching for it, and going to search it that way. So what we need to find out from our Apple people, can y'all do the same thing?
So I got one right here. I wanna know who this player is right here.
Okay.
Will it do that?
So that's what we need to find out.
Even though I know who it is.
Yes.
I just thought that's an easy one.
Okay, so, what I'm wondering, because if we swipe up, that's gonna take you to your recent, so let me do this. We're just gonna ask.
Well, that's what I was trying to see.
Because you may have to
Press and
download,
hold.
you may have to download another Google app in order for you to do it.
Okay.
And I'm trying to make sure which one.
So it says, okay, if you tap the two lines, this might be, who is this player? Let's see if that works.
Because I think that's gonna be in Instagram. Is that Instagram? You did it in Meta.
Oh.
So you have an option, because they've added that in there. Yeah, you need to have the Google app, that's what I was telling you, that what Tiffany, you downloaded Chrome, but you do need to do the Google app. It says you guys do have, so the way that you're gonna do it, you have to do it one more step. So basically, you know how I showed you the Google Lens, you're gonna have to take a screenshot of it and then do the Google Lens. So you guys have to do an additional step.
Terry,
Yes, sir.
I don't know how it's done, but with my tablet,
Mm-hmm,
my washing machine is Samsung.
mm-hmm.
Nikki showed me how I can go there, load it,
And
set
start.
everything up, walk away from it. When I get ready, go to my tablet and press wash,
Mm-hmm,
and it automatically do it. Now, my TV set up the same way.
mm-hmm. Now,
If
would
it-
you rather have it on your tablet, or would you rather have it on your phone though?
It's automatic.
So it's on
my
both?
phone, it's on my tablet.
Okay, so she did have it where it's set up on both, because sometimes there are certain apps that I may use specifically for my tablet, but when you go to the Play Store, it'll tell you to say, okay, you got it on one device, but you want it on the other device. And that's where you can sync across devices. So like, there are some apps that are gonna automatically sync, like, messages, not messages, what is it called? Samsung Notes, they'll sync across. So like when I'm doing like sermon notes, like sometimes depending on what I'm doing, like I'm watching it on my phone, but then I'll take a screenshot or whatever and I'll put it in there, because on my tablet, I can write with my pen. So that's why I'll do that.
That's what I want to set up, because see, I want to start back drawing, doing house design and stuff, and I want to be able to set up on here, or either my laptop, where I can just go there, just like, I'm designing a bathroom.
Mhm.
I want to go in there and detail it, because like with one design, what I was doing was a shower, and instead of having it a square shape, it was gonna have a U shape with a rain shower here and a
Mhm.
regular shower there. And then do my tiling on my designs and everything.
So I wouldn't use the default Google, Samsung Notes. I wouldn't use Google Notes. You're gonna have to get like a more specific, design software. It could be on it'll probably be on the Play Store, because my niece, she's an artist, and she would do, drawings and things on her phone. So I need to see which app does she have. So she
Well,
needs
it's
something-
like the technology, Ron and I were talking about a while back. During a church program, a person would make a mistake,
Mhm,
print,
mhm.
and there's the mistake there. Instead of print 5 she was printing 50 copies.
Mm-hmm.
Pick them up, drop them in the trash, and go all over again and make another mistake. So, they showed an app where you had to have a flat screen like that. You could type out what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the front page. Here's the front side. Press a button, automatically flip to the back side. Proofread everything, and then press print. It will
Well, I
flip.
mean, that's what you do in most softwares, and even like something like ChatGPT or Copilot, now it may still have some errors, but for the most part, it can catch those things. Now, like, I'm gonna tell you something with Copilot or ChatGPT, what'll happen is, especially like names, like spelling, it'll go for like that more common. But you know, sometimes there are gonna be some more uncommon versions on how names are spelled. So that's gonna be like a human piece that you could go in and just, you would have to change. But even like, I was working in Claude yesterday, so I'm trying to create like this transition manual for this software that I'm over, but I'm trying to transition it out of my hands. So one of the things is, it says like, before I could go next, it says that I needed to fix some things. And I said, well, I don't have time to fix everything. It went in and fixed everything for me, but guess what? On the side of you being a human, I'm still gonna go in there and make sure those things have been changed.
Cause the computer, with my computer, say I'm texting James, and I'm writing something personal to him and Robin,
Mm-hmm,
and I spell it one way.
mm-hmm.
When I get through to send a text, it expect put another word in there.
So that's autocorrect. So autocorrect is getting better on iPhone, but you can still have like a app. I'm gonna tell you an app that I use. It's called Grammarly. Grammarly I use on all my devices, work and personal. I love that because it will catch stuff sometimes before the word, like the word, internal word spelling catches it, and it'll fix it for me. So it's called Grammarly. So that's one way that you could do that. That's all.
I'm talking about, what I'm talking about is, I spell the word out.
Oh, it'll correct, but sometimes you don't want it to correct for you.
Completely change it. It'll go there and it'll put another word in there.
But you know you can click back on it and change it back.
Yeah, but half the time I'll be done sent it and then reread it.
Now, I'm gonna take, so you can edit now. You can edit text messages now.
See, that's what I need to do.
So
Because it have reply and then it have something else next to it. How would I go there and pull it back and re-edit?
No, you don't pull it back, you just edit it right there real time.
Okay.
So like, let me ask you this, do you, that's what I'm asking you. I know you can do it on, iPhone, you can edit a message.
Yeah.
So do you have Google Messages on your phone?
Mhm.
So if you have Google Messages, it will allow you to update a message. So, like a lot of times, I'll be sending the twin something. This is so funny. So I had told the twins, I said, I want you to clean the house, but there's a cord, I was looking for my air purifier cord. They always messing with my stuff, you know, kids, that's what they do. I said, y'all better find my cord to my air purifier because I keep it in the living room and it's in that one area. We got all these many other cords but that. So he said, your house is clean, but never found a cord. I think we found a substitute. Okay, I gotta go back and check over. So it's like, okay. Picture to show that it would. Now, I'm saying would, I know I'm gonna say work, but I'm gonna say would, right? I'm going to get send, but I realize I made a mistake, so now I go back and hit edit, and it says edit message, and then work. Most devices now will allow you to edit messages, even in, I've seen it Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger,
you sent, you press send, it would still pull it back?
It's not like pulling it back, it's just editing. So what you're thinking of is kind of like, recalling a message. That's what sometimes we'll do for like an email message, you'll recall it back, and then you edit the message. This one is editing in real time, so they'll see the change right then.
Yeah.
So you're not recalling anything, you're just editing the message, so it'll adjust.
Cause see, what I've been doing when I text, and I look at it, and it's changed, I'll go back in there and retext, and put the right wording in there.
Now, that's what we used to do, cause we'll put the little asterisk and say like, the correct word or whatever. You don't have to do that anymore, you just edit it and it'll just it'll still be the same message, it'll just redo it.
It'll fix it.
It'll fix it.
Yeah.
So you just hold it, hit edit, and then just edit the message. Alright, see you tomorrow. So, I know we touched a lot of things, and a lot of it is, like, again, I like to do something that, depending on who's here, what specific questions you have. Because a lot of times it's gonna make, but it's like, but I see it the same time, it's like, okay, we did a lot today. We did. And this is good. Cause you think about it now, I'm supposed to maybe organizing events on my calendar now.
That's huge.
So now it's, okay, now I picked up some new things that I can do as well too. So like, you didn't hear about Claude until I talked about it. So now it's one of those things where it's like, okay, how, and that's like a preference, like some people like ChatGPT over Copilot. There's times where it's always like a race. It's say, okay, one is doing this, now the other one is doing this. That's just like, I'm gonna tell you, during the pandemic with Zoom and Teams, it was like, we had Teams, like literally, we had just got into like using Microsoft, we got Teams, and literally as the pandemic was moving along, Teams was evolving. So it was evolving and catching up with Zoom. But now I still see that Teams has so many added benefits that Zoom does not have.
Military use Teams, cause that's what we use a lot.
Yes, and then so with the security piece, and also with, I can go back and see the messages that were in that virtual meeting, I can go back and see those messages. Zoom, once you go, it's gone. And I can't stand there, I was like, so what did they say? And that's why yes, so that's why a lot of times they'll send you like a recording of it after the fact, but sometimes you want those messages of what people have said. So like, I could go back, I think I still got messages back from 2020, cause I was searching something one day, it's like, oh, this is in my archive. I said, we actually, like, somebody I'm thinking that I've never talked to before, like emailed before, it's like, oh, they emailed me back in like 2021. Didn't remember, but it was there, because it keeps up with all of that.
Most of the time for us in the Army, South Carolina, but most of the time for us in the Army, when we have a team meeting, somebody's gonna record it.
Correct.
For the simple fact, if somebody need to go, because say Miss Sally couldn't make the meeting, but she can go back in there and listen to it.
And it's gonna be, and now, cause I was helping a friend of mine, we had it, what was called Otter, where it's an AI chat assistant that's built within Teams, and what it does, it will help take notes and summarize the meeting for you. So it's like a built-in piece. Now, Claude, if you do like the desktop version of Claude, that'll probably do it for you. Cause the way Claude works, what we found out, that's what we, like my department, we're trying to get ahead of how kids are trying to use it to cheat. Believe it or not. And so, it's like, what we found out with Claude, so like, I know, I'm gonna go back, one day I was working, and I opened up Chrome, and it had the top Ask Gemini. I said, ooh, first of all, I said, can the kids see this? Because you can open it up, it opens up a little sidebar, and you can ask it questions about that page. Prior to that, just like I showed you Google Lens, what they would do is, if you, click on the address bar, it'll say, Google Lens, ask about this page. So basically it takes a snapshot of the page and it'll ask about it. So we had to get it removed on the student side because that's what they were doing. They were doing like exams, it was like benchmarks, and that's what they were using. Cause we were like, okay, you scored here, and you done scored all the way up here, Like, there's no way, but that's what we found out. So then they took that out, and so Claude has been in the running, but it's been kind of like sneaky. It's kind of like coming in, and now I feel like it's just the drop the ball, literally. Claude does not work like behind the scenes. Claude is like this, so let's say I have my device here. Claude basically looks at what you're doing on top. It's not embedded in the device or whatever, it's right there. So no matter what I'm working, I can be working on a Word document, whatever, I can ask Claude to like analyze that document, and it's not having to be embedded in it at all. So like, you can't really, you may not be able to detect it the way that it's working.
So the students could still use that?
Well, that's if they download the desktop version, it's like the better version. A lot of with their devices, they can't, download it. Like, especially if it's a district device.
If they had their own personal.
Yes, but even like with the software that I'm over, the requirement is that they are to test on district devices because it has more restrictions on it as opposed to the personal
Yeah.
devices. But even with like the SAT now, and I know with the ACT, they can bring their own devices to test. So, but they have to have that, it's called the Bluebird app, and then it basically, it locks down. So they open up the app and they cannot go out. So like I know, and I proctored the SAT, so Jonathan took it for the first time at the end of last year. And so at that time, I was like, okay, I need to buy y'all a device, but I'm gonna wait. So I let him use my MacBook. So it was so fun, I was like, okay, I gotta download this, I gotta make sure it works, and then they'll tell you to make sure it's updated like a couple of days before. But he was like, I didn't have any problem. So I mean, it's not that I didn't think it was gonna work on the MacBook, but it's just the fact being that they have to do stuff like that because kids yes, because they were sitting there and trying to get over.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Look, I know. I don't know if your kid, they're probably smart enough to know, but my son was definitely using, that's how I figured out what ChatGPT was, Gemini and stuff. I was like, do you really think your teachers ain't gonna know that you just used
Especially if
ChatGPT?
you know that student, they're gonna see a difference in how they're writing. And
Right.
so the way that I've been using, been telling the boys how to use it, they still don't really use it, is that I say, listen, if you're trying to, like a brainstorming session, that's just like you talking to co-pilot, trying to brainstorm something. But I say it shouldn't be to the point where it's doing it for you. Verbatim. And kids will copy and paste it.
And will.
And I'm not even talking about that in chat, you know how it says like, hey, Robin, I'll be sure to, that one boy did the whole thing, so you could, yeah. I said he did.
You're gonna know to edit, like,
No,
come
he
on.
didn't. He did, he was just trying to do
Oh,
it,
baby.
and he just went in and did it. And so, we've come up with like more fail safe, but I told teachers, I said, you're gonna have to change how you do assignments. I said, it can't be just a go do this, or just answer this question. I said, you gotta get kids where they're really thinking. So I said, you're gonna have to change how you are presenting or asking the kids questions. So you can see, is it really the kid? Cause I told my kids, I said, if you don't know something, I said, that's no knock on you. I said, my job as a teacher is to help you. That's my job. I said, you may not know everything. I said, I don't know everything.
Exactly.
So it's nothing wrong with learning and learning together. So that's even with this. Like I said, there's some things on Apple, and then like I said, sometimes with Android, like, sometimes I open up my phone, it's like, they have this, what is this? That's just how fast things are upgrading and changing. So a lot of times, sometimes, even on our devices, when they do upgrade, it might give you that tips option. I think I have it on mine, so I can say tips, and if you type in tips on your device, it should come up and it'll give you some tips about your device.
I have, yeah.
Especially when an update has come, it might walk you through some new updates for your device. And that's always helpful, because sometimes it'll pop up, I was like, you know what, I didn't know it had that on there. Which is, like I said, it's helpful. But when you're doing like your everyday stuff, and that's why I said, if there's like questions you have for like everyday stuff, like I said, the calculus said, editing messages. Little things like that can really kind of help your day go on to say, now I'm working more efficiently, and then now I gotta go through all this. Cause like you said before, y'all would send out, you got your family one, but like I said, even if it's something for work, I'll still do it on my family one, but I'll still send my work email and invite, so then I know it's on that calendar. Cause if I don't put it on both of my calendars, that's a done deal, I'm gonna forget. That's,
If I don't
that's
have
me.
it, I have my old school written.
I have
and
my written one as well too, so I have it all, so literally I do try to make sure that it's in sync, where if it's something big, so like for example, I know, the college night is coming up on the third, so I've already sent the twins their invite, I said, ooh, I need to make sure I send it to myself, so I can block that time off, because I wanna leave work early, so I can pick them up, come back to the Augusta Convention Center, cause I wanna be there when the doors open. You know, things like that, that helps me out, because with all their senior stuff, okay, let me put in everything that's coming up,
What school they go to?
part of mine.
How they like that?
I like it. They done all four, yeah, cause they started at Harlem, they went to Hillcrest pre-K through first, and they went to North Harlem Elementary, all the way up to the pandemic year, which was 5th grade. 6th grade, they stayed, they did it online, and then 7th and 8th grade, they did at middle school, and then, you know, that was a transition for everybody, the kids was wild, it was just, and so then they went to high school, but they liked it, they enjoyed it.
But you know what you were saying about technology, this kid went in there, we still don't understand everything about AI,
Correct, that is
but
correct.
he had a, I forget what, composition or something to write. He told AI what he needed to write about, and, I guess press the button, sit back, and a little while later,
They did
it
it
come up and he printed it.
Mhm.
And how he got caught, he walked in and the teacher said, yeah, enjoyed your paper, but I wrote it.
You know why? What they still realize by AI, there was a child that created a book, and it was going to like publication, you know, and so it would have the story and it had the artwork. Well, it pulls from somewhere. Remember how I said when you asked about that, I said it's pulling from somewhere. So when they did the side by side of the artist's original and what AI did, you can see the similarities of the artist's rendition of their original work to what the student asked, the child asked AI to do. They went to court about that. So you still have to be careful about things like that. Even now, like, when you go to like, people asking you to do stuff, and sometimes I'm having Minister Olivia Dorsey say she had a post, and I said it makes a lot of sense. They talk about how if you're hand doing something like Canva or something, they talk about, oh, it's cheesy. But then when you use the AI to do it, oh, this looks too much like AI. So it's like, well, which one do you want? It's like, if you're asking me to do something and I do it, it's like, oh, that's too much, or you're charging too much. But then you go to AI, oh, that looks so AI-ish and da-da-da-da. So which one do you want?
Right.
I'm gonna be honest, I have to do a mixture of the two. Because depending on what it is, maybe I need to see what it looks like, but guess what, I may go in and edit it to look a little more humanized.
Or
You know, things
detail
like
it a
that.
little bit more.
Detail it a little bit more. It's not, I don't see, especially not now, I'm not saying it won't happen, where you have that humanized component to it. That's really hard to mimic, because as humans, we're all different.
And we're more about convenience, so why are you complaining if it can produce that
Especially
flyer
if
that
you didn't, especially if you asked somebody to do it, but you didn't do it. So that's pretty like, a big thing about my job and what I do is, I don't do it for you, I show you how to do it. Like, even though I'm like, hey, you get this, and this, that's so, it's like, okay, what did she do? She did this,
That's
this,
what I
this.
like better, so
Yeah.
I can.
So you could go back and mimic that. That's the same thing that I do with my teachers. I was like, okay, in order for you to do this, hey, follow the steps with me. So that's why you're seeing it, because people are visual, they need to see it.
Mhm.
You know, some people you can tell to say, hey, did you see this button here? Oh yeah, I see it, click on that button. Oh, okay, I got you. Things like that. That's why I love doing what I do. And that's why I'm glad that we have this class, because sometimes it's just, like, you don't wanna ask the boys, you be like, okay, you just gonna do it for me, then I'm not gonna learn how to do it.
That's what I say, tell me why you're doing that, what is that gonna, how's that gonna help me, so if I encounter this again, I need to
You know how would
Go
you
back
fix that? Correct. And that's how I tell people, I said, don't be afraid to ask, Google to search for it. Because a lot of the times, not a lot of times, it's pretty much gonna tell you. Now, sometimes I do find that it's a little off sometimes, but then it's like a trial and error. But once it is like, oh, okay, I see, maybe it's been an update.
Like with my TikTok, I just gotta keep practicing until I can.
And that's why I said for you, I would definitely look
Video
at,
first.
do the video first. Then once you do the video, but especially if you're trying to go into, making it like, adding like some transitions, you could do it in TikTok, but like I said, some people might do it in like something like CapCut first, then they will, upload it.
What is CapCut per se?
So CapCut is an app, and it's an app where you can do video editing on your phone.
I didn't know it was an app, I need to do
It's an
that.
app.
If you look at a lot of the
I
basketball
see.
video.
They're CapCut.
Yeah,
Because when people are creating like those highlight reels and
Yeah.
stuff, like I knew some people, they were like doing it by hand, and I was like, ooh, I said, that takes some dedication. It's possible, but it takes some time. But when you do something like CapCut, the transitions are a little bit better with
so I
CapCut.
could do it in CapCut and then upload it, yes.
Well, say, like James and Robert, James Jr. Wet. If I say, Robin sends me the picture of him and her walking down the aisle, I wanna go there, zoom in and just have, showing them standing there from waist up. I want a little bit,
So that's where you're gonna go in and edit the picture where you're doing a cropping. And even what I've done is, another editor that I've used for videos, so on my, I think I still have my, what did I have at the time? I think I might still have my iMac, but it was one of my Apple devices. So when my mom passed away, I made a video, her memorial video. I actually did that in iMovie.
Oh, okay.
So on your phones, you do
I have.
have, so if you have like on your iPad, on your laptop, you have iMovie. So that's another one that you can use. And also when I look at CapCut, they do have the desktop version as well. So you have the mobile one, but you have the desktop version as well too. So that's an option, just depending on what. Now I'm gonna tell you one, cause I'm old school. On Windows devices, it used to be, went through the Windows Movie Maker. When I tell you, I had kids that were doing a project for, it was a media festival, and I showed them how to use that, and they were doing their transitions and stuff like that. Oh, they had a ball, and they was like, they took that away, but now they have something that's called Clipchamp. If you have a Microsoft account, you can get the Clipchamp and like edit. But a lot of times, they make a lot of apps that you can just do it in the app and just be fine.
Let me ask you a question, so
Mhm.
I'm in CapCut and I wanna start a video of myself, where do I even begin? Is that, am I saying it right?
Ooh, look what you looking for, TikTok. So that means
So I would
they
like
have some, it looks
that.
like they have like some, these will be the templates.
I just want me.
Look at it. New video, edit. So you do
Ah.
a new video, then you say, hey, you're pulling the video in, so that's how I was telling you.
But if I wanna create the so I have to create it still
Yeah,
first.
but, let me see. Yeah, you're gonna have to, you can't do it, let me know this one. use is Chris voice on it. Oh, you help with his voice over, okay. So when you use Capture, did you ever, you've always recorded your video first and then edited it in there, right? So you basically still have to create the do the video before you put it in Capture, is what you're saying. It has to be out of the existing video, like an existing video. So he said you have to record it first and then take it to Capture. Okay. You should be ready, so I appreciate you. You're welcome. All right, thanks, son. If y'all clean my house, you can get on the game. You helped me, Ron, she had a question about Captain. She said, thank you. That, cause Jaden asked me about it, he didn't put it in his bid. Okay, we'll go take a shower and go do your financial question. Oh, you did find a toy, your brother said he found some. Okay, don't be paying on my stuff. Okay, well, I'll check on it out. All right, then, thank y'all. All right, love you. All right, bye.
Well, Terica, Tasha has something like that, I guess that's what it is.
Cause I know she records videos as well
She
too.
took my wife's picture
Mm-hmm,
off of, what Ron did for her ceremony, and put her picture in there next to it.
Now that's AI, she used AI for that.
Okay, cause I wondered, cause she said next year she gonna start doing obituaries and everything, she already got it set up. And, she said she reworked mamas and then we got the grandkids involved in and everything. So, I was just wondering, so
Now, some of it, now, especially when you see the ones where, like, there's several Facebook groups where people say, hey, like, one I just seen, her husband had passed away and, they wanted a nice picture of him, like, in a suit. And so they'll use AI to do that. Sometimes, like, one that I did after my mom passed, I did a picture where it was, my sisters and I, we took a picture in front of our mom's house. And so there was a picture that my mom took, like, this was like a few weeks before she passed. So I was able to take that picture of her, have a cloud, so our picture, remove the background, so it was just us. Put us on a cloud, like a cloudy background. Now, I did that myself. But some of the pieces that I took, like the background removal, that was AI. And then I took my mom's picture and I put it over us. Cause I use it as my, cover image. But it can be all AI. Some of it is you're doing it from scratch. Like, so this is the image. So that was a picture of us that I took. And then she took a picture, and I just took it, yes. So, that, I had to remove the background on it, but I could've, if we had AI like that, I could've easily did that.
Okay. Well, that's something like they do with our church programs,
Correct,
changing it from month to month.
yes, All right, it is 12:07. Do y'all have
Thank you.
any other questions?
When's the next class?
So, so the next class, cause when I did the, like the survey, that was basically seeing what everybody needed. So phones was a big one. Even we really didn't get into like going about, what to cook on, what not to cook on. Like we did talk about spam calls
You
last
said what
time.
to cook on?
Click. What to
Oh,
cook on,
I
what
was
not to
like,
cook on.
what, cooking's
Pop
involved?
up.
No,
Pop up.
Especially with pop-ups or spam mail.
Oh, yeah.
We are playing with them.
Yes, and then like with the spam calls,
Yeah.
and so like depending on your carrier, so with me with AT&T, I have an app that's called Smart Armor. If you have Verizon, it's called Verizon something, I can't remember, because I used to use it. But after a while, because people will report calls and it started just blocking calls for you. Then, I'm not sure what T-Mobile has, but, you could easily just block in your phone. But I know sometimes depending on device, like, I'm gonna tell you something weird. So a friend of mine, she has the iPhone and she has the watch. And so she blocked somebody, but what she found out, because the watch had a separate line, she still had to block that person on the watch.
Right. Yep.
So that was, I was like, didn't think about that. But I know like with me, if I block somebody on my phone, it will not come up. Now, mine is Bluetooth, but even when I had, because you have the option to say, do I want a Bluetooth watch or you want to have your own line? But even when I had my own line, it still did not come up if I block somebody. But then a lot of times it will automatically block, like I get like a little alert, it's like, ooh. I was like, okay, block call, scam, and it'll tell me, was it a scam
Spam,
call or
yeah.
a spam? I've even got
That's
some that
what
say,
mine-
they
that's
label
what
them as
spam call.
like I had some, labeling fraud calls, they've been labeling as fraud. So, you know, they will try away,
Oh, that's right. All the time.
Oh, they
We
got
all
several
the time.
ways, because,
Every day, we probably get about 100 of them.
And it's crazy, because if I go through mine, if I go through mine, like my alone, so this morning, spam call block. And I can go through the whole day,
You
it's
just said if it's
hundreds.
important, they'll leave a message. If not, then guess what? It ain't important.
So like I had,
well, if they call and you answer, and if they say hello, it's a spam call, hang
Don't
up.
even answer, let it go
I-
straight to
I-
voicemail, because if it's important, they'll leave a voicemail.
but you know, that's when they leave those automated voicemails.
Yeah,
That
you don't-
you know,
true
it's-
too.
You don't wanna do that,
And,
because,
no, I let them leave, because that's how they kind of tells me, and I go back in and block those numbers.
Yep.
So that's what tells me to say, if you left a voicemail, but it's one of those automated ones, I go and I block those
You can
calls.
tell when it's go automated, because what happens is it take them a little bit to click in.
Yes.
They like.
well, like her daughter said, you look at your timer, when you answer, if they had said anything between 8 and 8 seconds, before that, about 6 seconds, you hang up,
And never say
it's
yes.
because it's spam call.
Yeah, never say yes.
Oh, no, they be like, is this so-and-so? We,
Click.
look, when we travel,
And-
it's like, man,
And,
they
and
kill
another
us.
thing,
Mhm.
a spam call, they'll call you from one number,
Yes.
go to another number and call you.
The same company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And go down the line, like they'll have these different numbers, and what I've also noticed that now they'll call from a verified number, but when they leave the voicemail, the number changes.
Yeah.
I've been noticing that happen.
They'll come up with.
Does your phone
something
show
like
up what
this.
state it's coming from?
Yeah, I've had some lately, I had one from Ontario, Canada, I said, I don't know, nobody does it.
Well, see, with my insurance,
What was your insurance?
United Healthcare,
Okay,
they're based out of Florida.
okay.
So the lady called me, she was here, but they got a call box center. So I hadn't talked to her in a year, when I went down and, I got rude with, I hate to say it. And she said, Mr. Frail, I talked to you last year.
But sometimes you try to be, you can never be too careful.
And, she started, well, she went into my file and she said some things, and I asked her, I said, well, okay, you talked to me last year, what's my middle initial? She said, Mr. Frail, you don't have a middle initial. Told me what my favorite color, she said, and, I know what your favorite color is. Now, see, I'm an auto body technician, so I favor my red and my blue, but I really don't have a favorite color,
Mm-hmm,
because I like them all.
mm-hmm.
And, I mix colors and stuff, so something you'll look at during the daytime,
Mm-hmm.
and it's one shade, then you look at it at night,
It's gonna look a little
it's
different.
another shade, because like we mixed the black, that during the daytime, it looked like solid black.
Mm-hmm.
When you hit it at night with light, you can see the gold and it's silver in it.
That's like, some people didn't know that there was tones like shades of black, like there's a blue black, there's a brown black, there's a purple tone black. I was like, color theory is cool.
I gotta go catch Kirby.
Yep.
I'll back and take him.
All right.
All right,
Thank you,
that's
thank
a good one.
35 plus years.
Thank you, Ron.
You said 5+ years?
35.
Wow.
When we first got married, and
All right,
she dropped something on last night, so
I
now.
know, I
it
was
won't
like,
stop.
oh.
So now we gotta go.
But
see
you
it.
know, yeah, 'cause those last forever.
Ever and a
And
day.
let me tell you, I bought one, the twins were probably 1 or 2 years old, and I gave it away, and I realized, I said I shouldn't have gave it away. All it was I realized that in hindsight, I said it was just a cord.
You know how much, I done probably got ours fixed, how many, about 4 or 5 times?
Yeah, but it's
I
worth
can't-
it.
But they last forever, and then I picked
Ever.
up one, it's like, it's trash, it's garbage. Like, it won't, anytime it suck up something, it gets stuck, I was like, are you kidding me?
Yep.
Y'all take care.
All right,
Hey, this was a
thank
good class.
you. Well, I'm
Appreciate it.
glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We'll be back. All right, well, good.
What, Ron left?
Yeah, he said he had to come back.
Okay.
He texted me. Yeah, he had to run an errand, and he said he was gonna come back.
Well, you helped me out a whole lot, girl.